I've spent 6 decades watching people chase wealth, and I need to tell you something most financial experts won't admit. The game changed. The rules flipped. And if you're still playing by the old playbook, you're going to lose. Back in the 1940s, when I started working, rent ate up about 15% of what you earned. One paycheck could support an entire family. Your spouse could stay home. You could actually save money. Build something real. The system made sense. Fast forward to today, you're pulling in $65,000 a year. Your rent? $2,000 every single month. That's $24,000 annually just for a place to sleep. We're talking 30% of your gross income before taxes even touch it. Before you buy groceries. Before anything else exists in your life. The math doesn't work anymore. It's fundamentally broken. What makes me frustrated? These so-called money gurus keep pushing the same tired advice. Budget smarter. Skip your morning coffee. Drop Netflix. Survive on rice and beans. Like that 15 monthly latte is the reason you can't save when your rent alone swallows half your paycheck. It's disrespectful and completely misses the point. Your issue isn't spending habits. Your real problem is that one income doesn't cut it anymore. Not because you're doing something wrong. The entire economic foundation shifted while everyone kept preaching the same old rules. So if I were 30 years old right now, earning $65,000 with rent, destroying my wealth-building potential, what would I actually do? I'm going to walk you through the exact framework I've watched succeed repeatedly over decades. Not theories, not wishful thinking. Real patterns that worked again and again. Quick note before we dive in. I passed away in November 2023 at 99 years old. This content reflects my historical philosophy and observations. It's educational, not financial advice. Talk to licensed professionals before making money decisions. But human behavior and economic pressure? Those patterns I studied for 60 years haven't changed. Let me hit you with the brutal numbers first, because until you see this clearly, you won't understand why immediate action matters. You're making $65,000. After federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and Medicare get their cut, you're taking home roughly $48,000. That's $4,000 monthly hitting your bank account. Your rent takes $2,000. Half your income vanishes immediately. You're left with $2,000 for literally everything else in your life. Let's be realistic with expenses. Food runs $400 monthly if you're careful. Transportation costs $300, whether that's a car payment, insurance, and key or public transit. Utilities and your phone bill? $200. Health insurance co-pays and medications, even with employer coverage? $150. Student loan minimum payment? $200. That's $1,250 in absolute survival costs beyond keeping a roof over your head. You're down to $700 per month. Think about what that stepper needs to cover. Clothing, household items, any social life at all. Haircuts, unexpected emergencies, savings, retirement contributions. You're supposed to build wealth on $750 monthly. It's absurd. Here's what really gets under my skin. Standard financial advice says save 20% of your income. For you, that's $13,000 yearly, or about $1,000 each month. But you only have $750 left after basic expenses. The advice is literally impossible to follow. The system demands you save 20% while making it structurally impossible to do so. Then it turns around and blames you for failing. This is exactly what I mean when I say the rules changed, but the advice stayed frozen in time. What's the solution? You need a second income source, not some random side gig, not a hustle. A strategic second income that eventually earns you more per hour than your main job does. Let me show you precisely how I'd build this starting today. When I was building my career through the 1950s and 1960s, I didn't just practice law. I invested. I consulted. I sat on corporate boards. Multiple income streams flowed in. Not because I was greedy, because I understood something fundamental about wealth. One income source is fragile. It can disappear overnight. Multiple sources create real security. And here's what I noticed consistently across 6 decades. Wealthy people always had multiple income streams. Middle-class people had one. Poor people had one that could vanish any moment. Here's my move in your position. I'd commit to building side income that generates $1,000 monthly within 18 months. That's a specific target with a specific deadline. Why $1,500? Because that number transforms your entire financial equation. It takes you from $4,000 monthly take-home to $50. Suddenly, you're not drowning anymore. You can save $1,000 each month. Build an emergency fund. Start investing. Wealth building shifts from impossible to achievable. But here's where 95% of people crash and burn. They approach side income randomly. They try dropshipping one month, freelance writing the next, then Etsy stores, then crypto trading. They scatter their energy across 10 different ideas, make zero real money from any of them, get exhausted, and quit. Then they convince themselves side income doesn't work. The concept didn't fail. Their approach did. Let me share the pattern I observed in people who successfully built side income. They followed 3 rules. These aren't my inventions. These are patterns I watched repeat for decades. Rule 1, choose something that scales. Rule 2, leverage skills you already have. Rule 3, solve a specific problem for people who can pay. Let me break down each rule, because violating any of these 3 will waste months or years of your life. Rule 1 must scale. Your time is your scarcest resource. You work 40 to 50 hours at your main job. Maybe you've got 10 to 15 hours weekly for side income. If you're trading hours for dollars at a low rate, the math never works. Take driving for Uber as an example. You might make $20 hourly after expenses. Work 10 hours weekly. That's $200 per week, or $800 monthly. Not nothing, but not life-changing either. And here's the critical issue. Your rate never improves. Year 2, you're still making $20 hourly. Year 5, still $20 hourly. Your time investment doesn't compound. Compare that to consulting. Say you're an accountant who starts doing bookkeeping for small businesses. Year 1, you charge $50 hourly because you're new. Work 10 hours weekly. That's $500 per week, $2,000 monthly. Already better than Uber. But watch the magic happen. Year 2, you're faster and better, so you charge $70 hourly. Same 10 hours, now $3,000 monthly. Year 3, you're known in your market. You charge $100 hourly. Same time commitment, $4,000 monthly. Your rate compounds because your skill and reputation compound. That's what scalable means. I watched this pattern for decades. People who built meaningful side income always chose something where their value per hour could increase. Consulting, freelancing, teaching specialized skills, building products. People who stayed stuck chose gigs where the rate was locked forever. I'm not saying gig work is worthless. If you need money this week, do it. I'm saying it's a dead end for wealth building. You want your time investment to compound, not stagnate. Rule 2, Leverage existing skills. I can't emphasize this enough. You don't have time to become an expert in something brand new while working full-time. The fastest path to side income is monetizing what you already know. I see this mistake constantly. Someone's an accountant, but they try learning graphic design because they heard it pays well. They're a teacher, but they try learning to code because tech jobs pay more. They waste 6 months learning a new skill poorly, never make money from it, and quit. Here's what you do. Make a list of every skill you have from your job. Every single one. You're in marketing? You know social media, copywriting, analytics, campaign management, maybe some graphic design. You're a project manager? You know planning, team coordination, timeline management, stakeholder communication. You're a nurse? You know medical terminology, patient care, health assessments, medical software. Every job teaches valuable skills. The question is, which of those skills can you sell outside your employer? Let me give you a specific example. I knew a man, we'll call him David. He worked in supply chain management for a manufacturing company making $68,000 yearly. Decent salary, but his Seattle rent was $200 monthly. He was barely saving anything. He asked me what business he should start. I asked him, "What do you do all day?" He said, "I manage inventory, negotiate with suppliers, optimize shipping costs, and use software to track everything." I said, "That's what you sell?" David started offering supply chain consulting to small e-commerce businesses. Most small online stores are terrible at inventory management. They either run out of stock or have too much sitting in warehouses. They overpay for shipping. They use outdated software. David charged $1,000 to audit their supply chain and give them a detailed report with specific improvements. Then $500 monthly to implement and manage those improvements. First 3 months he had 1 client. $1,000 audit, plus $1,500 in monthly fees. $2,500 for maybe 15 hours of work. That's $166 hourly. He was making about $33 hourly at his day job. Within 18 months, David had 8 clients paying $500 monthly. That's $4,000 monthly recurring income. He was making more from his side business than his actual job. The critical insight? He didn't learn anything new. He just monetized what he already knew. That's the power of leveraging existing skills. You skip the learning curve and jump straight to earning. Rule 3. Solve a specific problem for people who can pay. This is where most side income attempts die. People create solutions looking for problems. They build products nobody wants. They offer services nobody will pay for. They choose industries where customers can't afford to pay. Let me be direct. Your side income needs customers who have money and who earn. Money means they can actually pay you. Pain means they desperately need your solution. Small businesses have both. They have revenue and they have problems costing them money. A restaurant losing customers because of bad online reviews? That's costing them thousands monthly. They'll pay $500 to fix it. An e-commerce store with a 70% cart abandonment rate? That's leaving tens of thousands on the table. They'll pay $1,000 to optimize their checkout process. A consultant who can't clearly explain what they do? They're losing potential clients every week. They'll pay $400 for a clear LinkedIn profile. These are specific problems with clear financial pain. When you solve them, people pay willingly because your solution makes or saves them more than you cost. Compare that to trying to sell productivity apps to broke college students or financial coaching to people living paycheck to paycheck. They might need your help, but they can't pay you. You'll waste months trying to extract money from people who don't have any. Target people with money and problems. Small business owners, working professionals, executives, specialized hobbyists. They have disposable income and specific pain points. Now, let me walk you through the 18-month timeline to hit 1,000 monthly side income. Months 1 through 3, research and validation. Don't start selling yet. Spend these 3 months understanding what problem you'll solve and who will pay for it. Interview 10 to 15 potential customers. Ask them about their biggest frustrations. What tasks do they hate? What problems cost them money? What would they pay to fix? Look at competitors. Who's already selling what you're considering? What do they charge? What do their customers complain about? How can you do it better or different? Test your pricing. Create a simple one-page offer and share it with your network. See who responds. Adjust based on feedback. By month 3, you should know exactly what you're selling, who you're selling to, what you're charging, and where to find customers. Months 4 through 6. Get your first 3 clients. This is the hardest phase. You have no testimonials, no case studies, no track record. You're selling on promise alone. Offer a discount for your first 3 clients in exchange for detailed testimonials and referrals. If your normal price is $500, charge $300. You're buying credibility. Where do you find these first clients? Leverage your existing network. Friends, family, former colleagues, LinkedIn connections. Send 50 personal messages. You'll get 5 conversations. You'll close 2 clients. Join online communities where your target customers hang out. Facebook groups, Reddit communities, Slack channels, industry forums. Provide value for free. Answer questions. Share insights. Build trust. Then mention your service when relevant. Cold outreach works too, but it's harder. Email or LinkedIn message 100 potential clients with a personalized note showing you understand their specific problem. You'll get 10 responses. You'll close 1 or 2 clients. By month 6, you should have 3 clients and be making $900 to $1,000 monthly, depending on your pricing. Months 7 through 12. Refine and systematize. You've proven people will pay you. Now, make your service better and more efficient. Create templates for everything. Proposal templates, contract templates, onboarding documents, delivery checklists. Every repeated task should have a system. Track your time obsessively. Which tasks take longest? Where are you inefficient? How can you speed up without sacrificing quality? Raise your prices. Your first 3 clients got the discount. New clients pay full price. If you charged $300 to start, now charge $500. If you charged fund, now charge cent. Get testimonials and case studies from your existing clients. Specific results matter. I helped client X reduce shipping costs by 23% and saving them $15,000 annually. That's a real case study. By month 12, you should have 5 to 6 clients and be making $1,200 to $1,800 monthly. Months 13 through 18, scale to your target. By now, you should be making at least $1,000 monthly. Your goal is hitting $1,000 monthly by month 18. Focus on consistent client acquisition. You're no longer experimenting. You know your service works. You know your pricing. You know where your customers are. Now you just do it consistently. 2 clients monthly at $750 each, or 3 clients at $500, or 1 client at $1,500. The math doesn't matter as long as you hit the monthly target. Let me address the objection running through your mind right now. I don't have time. You work 40 to 50 hours weekly. You're exhausted. You have family obligations. You need sleep. Where are you supposed to find 10 to 15 hours for side income? I understand, but let me show you the math of time differently. The average person watches 3 hours of television daily. That's 21 hours weekly. I'm not judging. I'm observing. If you cut TV from 3 hours to 1 hour daily, you just found 14 hours weekly. The average person spends 2 hours daily on social media. That's 17 hours weekly. Cut it to 1 hour daily. You found another 10 hours. I'm not saying eliminate all leisure. I'm saying most people have time. They just don't realize where it's going. Here's what you do. Track your time for 1 week. Every hour, write down what you did. Be honest. At the end of the week, categorize everything: work, sleep, eating, commuting, household chores, exercise, leisure. You'll find pockets of time you didn't know existed. I've seen this exercise change lives. People realize they have 15 hours weekly they're currently spending on activities that add zero value toward their goals. And here's the critical mindset shift. This isn't forever. You're not committing to 60-hour weeks for the rest of your life. You're committing to 18 months of focused effort to build a second income source. 18 months. That's it. After that, if you've built it correctly, the side income either runs more passively or becomes your main income, and you quit the job, or you sell the side business. But those 18 months of sacrifice, they buy you decades of financial security. When I was your age, I worked nights and weekends for years, building what eventually became substantial wealth. It wasn't fun in the moment, but it was the best investment I ever made. Now let me tell you about the psychology of side income, because the skills aren't the hard part, the discipline is. Most people start strong. First month, they're excited, motivated. They work 15 hours on their side income. Second month, the novelty fades. They only work 8 hours. Third month, they had a rough week at their main job, so they skip the side income. Fourth month, they quit entirely. Then, they say side income doesn't work. But it wasn't the model that failed. It was their consistency. Here's what I observed in people who succeeded. They treated their side income like a second job with a boss. Because without external accountability, most people drift. So they created structure. Every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., side income work. Non-negotiable, like showing up to a job. Every Tuesday and Thursday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., side income work. On the calendar. Protected time. They didn't wait to feel motivated. They didn't work only when inspired. They showed up like professionals because they understood something crucial. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. I also noticed they tracked metrics obsessively, not in a stressful way, but in a clear-eyed way. How many potential clients did I contact this week? How many responded? How many became customers? What's my monthly revenue? How many hours did I work? What's my effective hourly rate? When you track numbers, you see progress even when it feels slow, and you identify problems early. If you've contacted 50 potential clients and 0 became customers, your offer is wrong, or you're targeting the wrong people. The data tells you that in week 3 instead of month 6, you course correct fast instead of wasting time. And here's something I can't emphasize enough. They isolated their time from their main job. They didn't try doing side income during work hours. They didn't check emails for their side business during their 9 to 5. They kept them completely separate. Why? Because mixing them creates constant context switching, which destroys productivity in both. When you're at your main job, be fully there. When you're working on your side income, be fully there. Presence is productivity. Let me give you 3 specific side income models that I observed work consistently for people in your situation. Making around $65,000, paying high rent, needing one ton monthly within 18 months. These aren't the only models, but they're proven. Model 1, specialized consulting. Take your existing job skills and offer them to small businesses. If you're in marketing, offer social media management. If you're in accounting, offer bookkeeping. If you're in IT, offer tech support or website maintenance. Small businesses desperately need these skills, but can't afford full-time employees. They'll pay $500 to $2,000 monthly for part-time specialized help. 3 clients at $500 each gets you to 1 ton monthly. Model 2, teaching or training. If you're good at something, someone wants to learn it. Not in a vague way. Specifically, if you're fluent in Mandarin, corporate professionals need to learn business Mandarin. If you're certified in QuickBooks, small business owners need training. If you know Excel deeply, professionals will pay for advanced Excel courses. You can do this one-on-one at $50 to $100 hourly, or create a small group course at $300 per person. 5 students monthly gets you 1 ton. Model 3, done-for-you services. People hate tasks that are tedious but necessary. If you can do those tasks efficiently, they'll pay you. Resume writing for professionals, $200 per resume. Need 7 to 8 clients monthly. LinkedIn profile optimization for executives, $400 per profile. Need 4 clients monthly. Presentation deck creation for consultants, $300 per deck. Need 5 clients monthly. These are quick deliverable services where you get paid per project. The key is volume and efficiency. These 3 models work because they meet all 3 rules. Scalable rates. Leverage existing skills. Solve specific problems for people with money. Choose one. Execute it for 18 months. Don't jump between models. Commit and go deep. Let me close with something I learned over 60 years. Your current financial situation is temporary, but only if you take action. I watched thousands of people in your exact position, making decent money, but crushed by high cost of living. Some stayed stuck forever, blaming the economy, blaming their employer, waiting for things to magically improve. Others took control. They built side income. They increased their earning power. They changed their financial trajectory within 2 years. The difference wasn't intelligence. It wasn't luck. It wasn't connections. It was willingness to do what's uncomfortable for a limited time. You're making $65,000 and paying $2,000 in rent. If you do nothing, in 5 years, you'll still be in the same position. Just 5 years older and 5 years behind on wealth building. But if you commit 18 months to building a $1,000 monthly side income, in 5 years, you could be making $80,000 from your career plus $3,000 from your side income. That's $80,000 effective income. You've increased your earning power by twice. That's the difference between struggling and building wealth. I'm not telling you it's easy. It's not. Those 18 months will be hard. You'll be tired. You'll want to quit. But I watched this pattern repeat for 6 decades. People who pushed through 18 months of discomfort bought themselves 30 years of financial security. People who chose comfort in those 18 months bought themselves 30 years of financial stress. The choice is yours. The blueprint is here. The question is, will you execute?